Aaron.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron.
You done messed up, Aaron.
Aaron is here, everyone. Welcome back for more SPTV, where every day is a great day not to be in a cult. Jimmy Debello done messed up. Now, who in the hell is Jimmy Debello? Well, he's a very good friend of Danny Masterson and Ashton Kutcher. He's known as Shady Jimmy or Cokehead Jimmy, depending on who you're talking to. In fact, in the Danny Masterson trial, one of the pieces of evidence was a report from Jane Doe 1's mother about the attack on Jane Doe 1. And Jimmy Debello is mentioned and is described by Jane Doe 1's mother in those terms that I just used. In fact, Jimmy Debello was the missing witness of the Danny Masterson trial. Jimmy Debello couldn't be found. Jimmy Debello, Luke Watson, and Danny Masterson were the only three people present in the house during the drugging and the raping of Jane Doe 1. And I'm going to give you one guess as to who supplied the GHB for the drugging. My guess is a guy whose name rhymes with Jimmy Debello. Jimmy Debello was absolutely unable to be located during the trial. He was on the witness list. Wait, was it the witness list or the original report? He was listed as a witness, but nobody could find the guy. Well, now that his buddy Danny is in prison, Jimmy Debello has shown back up. He was caught on Streets LA's live stream, and I don't even think Streets knows it yet. By the way, if you are not yet subscribed to Streets LA's Scientology Audit channel, you can find it right there at Scientology Audit. Let me show you what Streets captured, because Streets actually shared some words with the guy and asked his chat to help identify the guy. And I'm not sure the chat was able to. I have the audio on this because they're blasting copyrighted music. But so just check it out though. Well, there's Francoise. There's Francoise talking with the police. Who's that fella in the pink hoodie back there? You're going to see him approach. You're going to see him want to walk into La Poubelle. You're going to see him go, uh-oh, the Popo are here. Uh-oh, Francoise is blocking the doorway. Uh-oh, there's all these cameras pointing at me. What is a boy to do? Let's see what he does. Oh, no. What? Oh, geez. What am I going to do? Oh, I know what. I'll keep walking as if that's not where I was about to go. And I'll walk all the way to the street corner because I have no idea what I'm doing right now. Okay. So Streets is then in a moment here. He's going to turn around and he too is going to walk towards the street corner. Now, while Streets is walking towards the street corner, Jimmy Debello starts walking back towards La Poubelle. And when Jimmy passes Streets, because I have the sound off, you can't hear that Streets is yelling at Francoise that he's going to put her out of business. Her restaurant's going to go out of business. She knows she's going out of business and he's going to put her out of business. So when Jimmy walks by Streets, he says, and I will unmute it.
Stop wasting everybody's fucking time.
Of course. Spicy language, folks. Spicy language. Check it out. I'm going to make sure that volume on this is jacked up because otherwise it's really hard to hear what he says. So. Hold on.
She's saying it. Did you call? And the next thing you know, she's invited in there. So what the fuck? Did they call or not? That restaurant. Man, get out of here. Stop wasting our time. And stop. Don't even go to that restaurant. First, just waste of time out of business.
All right,
Fuck you, Days. Hey, bitch.
Here we go.
Little fuck.
Okay, if you can't hear it, Jimmy goes, "Who gives a shit if she goes out of business?" Which is a funny thing to say about a friend of yours. Jimmy and Francoise are friends. You're going to see Francoise give Jimmy some safe harbor in a moment. So, but I think that's sort of Jimmy's way of trying to convince the protesters they're wasting their time. Who cares if who gives a shit if she goes out of business? But then Streets tells him what Streets thinks of him. Here we go.
Fuck you. Fuck you too, bitch. I'm gonna put her out of business. That's who I care. We get a good look at his face. Hey, you know what? Let's get a good look at his face. I'm gonna run your face through facial recognition. Let's see who he is. You run your goddamn mouth. Be proud about it. You want to be proud about it? Be proud about it. Don't run off. Right. You go into that rape restaurant. Hey, stop fucking up your dog. Stop hurting your dog.
Dog violence. We gotta see the incidental. The dog gets caught on something here.
Be proud about it. You want to be proud about it? Be proud about it. Don't run off. Right. You go into that rape restaurant. Hey, stop fucking up your dog. Stop hurting your dog. You maniac. Shut up. I'm not going to shut up. You.
Francoise has been in rare form the last couple weeks. I mean, she's been out there screaming at protesters. I saw her screaming at Danny. She had like spittle dripping from her mouth. And look, I mean, she knew Jimmy was coming. Doesn't it seem like she was waiting for Jimmy? Let's take a look at that again.
You dog. Hey, you go into that rape restaurant. Hey, stop fucking up your dog. Stop hurting your dog. You maniac. Shut up. I'm not going to shut up. You shut up.
Okay. Little did Streets know that was Shady Jimmy. One of the only 3 witnesses, if you include the rapist, Danny Masterson, 3 witnesses to the rape of Jane Doe 1. And all of a sudden, now that Danny's in prison, Shady Jimmy's back in Hollywood, and he's going to his old haunt, La Poubelle, the place where 9 out of 10 rapists approve of La Poubelle. Some other stuff that I wanted to show you here. Jimmy Debello, Shady Jimmy, good friend of Ashton Kutcher's, appeared in an episode you can see here of Punked. This is the episode where Seth Green gets punked, set up having an illegal gambling operation raided. This guy leaning over the table here, that is Jimmy. If you can see right behind Jimmy, you've got Danny Masterson. All the way over to the left with this girl with a straw and this cup. That is actually Bree. That is Scientologist Bree Schaefer. She is married to Scientologist actor Michael Pena. Now, over here, I don't know if you guys can see my cursor, but if you look at Jimmy Debello, behind him is Danny. The girl to the right is Erica Christensen, the one standing at the corner of the table. Scientologist actress Erica Christensen. Now, here you can see a shot of a cute little shot of Erica and Jimmy Debello just hanging out on the red carpet of some event. Here's the thing, guys. Jimmy Debello is not and never has been a Scientologist. And yet he was a fixture in Danny Masterson's crew and at Danny Masterson's house. If you guys remember the character reference letter that Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis wrote to the judge to asking for the judge to give Danny a light sentence, they mentioned that Danny Masterson was so against drugs, he would never even associate with anyone who was known to do drugs. It's funny because that's exactly what Jimmy Debello was known for. He was like the drug dealer of the group. It's amazing. It's almost like Ashton wasn't being honest about something. And let's see, there's another interesting little story here. Did I just screw this up? Did I just screw up my screen share? All right, let me try to share this screen again. Hold on, guys. Okay. There's an interesting little story that goes along with this photo. This is Jimmy Debello with his arm in a cast. Now, Ashton and Danny took Jimmy out for his birthday party when he had a broken arm and he had his arm in a cast. That night, there was a fight. There was an altercation. Someone in the group punched a girl. And the girl said it was Jimmy Debello, even though he has a broken arm. Now, I guess he could have punched someone with his left arm, but he claims he never did. And what's interesting is that what happened, it looks like, based on some people I've spoken with about this, that Jimmy's friends, Luke Watson and Danny Masterson, set Jimmy up to be arrested. It happened to be arrested like for this particular accusation. Jimmy was arrested for assault, hitting someone while, he literally has one arm tied behind his back. And Danny and Luke left Jimmy in jail for over a week. Now, the timing on this was exactly after Jane Doe 1 filed the police report against Danny Masterson and listed Jimmy Debello as a witness. How could they possibly keep the police from getting their hands on Jimmy Debello without having to get Jimmy Debello to agree to the strategy? One possible way would be to set him up for a crime that would get him arrested and they can leave him in jail for a while. Now, Jimmy Debello is one of Danny Masterson's best friends. Why would Danny Masterson leave his best friend in jail, sitting there for over a week, instead of just bailing him out? So I'm sure Jimmy will see this video. And I guess I'm wondering, Jimmy, did it ever occur to you that you ended up in jail for that long? Because that's exactly where they wanted you. Now, amazingly enough, this whole incident with this girl saying that Jimmy punched her, this went to criminal trial. This went to civil trial. She got a judgment against Jimmy for $100,000 that he never paid. And all of it just went away. All of it just went away. The girl never came after him for the money until many years later, when Jane Doe 1 when her case was reopened many years later. All of a sudden, this girl comes out of the woodwork and files a judgment against him to come after him for all this money he should have paid back. He should have paid all those years ago. There are some people who believe that Scientology, Luke Watson, remember Luke Watson's mother was Susan Watson, the then president of Scientology Celebrity Center, orchestrated this so-called attack and accusation as a way to control Jimmy Debello. Now, can I prove that? Absolutely not. Are people closely involved with the situation? Pretty sure that's what was going on. Yeah. Does that mean that's exactly what happened? I've got no idea. I'm just saying what people are saying. Okay, so that's Jimmy. I got to tell you, man, for all the heat that Francoise Koster is getting at La Poubelle, her pretending like she had nothing to do with the Danny Masterson situation. And what? I'm an innocent. I got nothing to do with this. What? I feel bad for all victims everywhere. Jimmy is believed to have provided the drug used against Jane Doe 1. Jimmy is welcome with open arms at La Poubelle. La Poubelle is where Jane Doe 3 was drugged. Francoise, she doesn't want to apologize to Danny Masterson's victims, but she really wants to apologize to all victims everywhere. She just doesn't want to say Danny's victims' names, because let's be honest, Francoise doesn't give a damn about what Danny Masterson did. And Francoise doesn't believe any of the victims, even though she sat through their testimony 3 times. Pre-trial hearing, first trial, second trial. She showed up every single day to support that rapist. And she still basically says, F you to the Jane Does. That's Jimmy Debello, streets. That's who you found. Hopefully he shows up and you see him again. And you can let him know that you know who he is. Just call him Shady Jimmy. Jimmy Debello. All right, guys, that's all on this. There's one more video I'm going to try to squeeze in tonight because I'm making up for lost time. So hit that notification bell, maybe hit that subscribe button, maybe, but definitely hit that like button. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.